Good morning. My name is Tim from Plugged Into Leadership, your outlet for leadership success. You have decided to take advantage of Tea with Tim. I'm so glad that you are tuning in. A couple folks on Facebook Live, but you can also check this out on iTunes. So hello to our iTunes listeners. You can check it out on Podbean. Hello to our Podbean podcast listeners. And now you can also find us on YouTube. So you can search Tea with Tim on YouTube and catch it there. This morning I have my Books on the Bay mug. If you ever visit Savannah, Georgia, make sure you check out Books on the Bay. That will become more significant in just a moment why I chose to use my Books on the Bay mug. So real quick before we get started, I am excited about some interviews that we have coming up. I am excited to have the Emma's Footprints crew on the show soon. Andy Kerr will be on the show soon. Ta Phelps will be on the show. Pastor Herb Redrick's going to be on the show. My friends Terry and Charles from Act Solutions are going to be on the show. So all of these wonderful guests are going to be coming up here in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for their wisdom and their insight and what they're doing and how they grow as leaders. And I'm glad that you have decided to join me this morning. Yesterday during church, Pastor Bobby Conway, who's also going to be a guest on the show, took some time in the sermon to remind us that our time is limited, that we have limited time in this world, and what we do with it matters. And that really gave me some pause. I was like, wow, what we do really matters. Wow, we got some people from Savannah. John, have you ever been to Books on the Bay in Savannah? Tell us if you like it. I loved Books on the Bay. It was great. So, sorry. Pastor Bobby was talking about how we have this limited time. I was like, wow, this is really good. So for our Growth Mindset Monday topic, we're going to be looking at how we use and maximize our time to continue to grow our leadership. So I'm going to look at a quote from the 15 Laws of Growth book, and I'm going to ask this question that the author John Maxwell quotes. It's this great question. Brian Tracy has this quote. It says, perhaps the very best question you can memorize and repeat over and over again is, my light just went off. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? What is the most valuable use of my time right now? Sometimes we have a really hard time answering this question. And it's very difficult for us to maximize the time that we have now. But the first thing that we can do is we can set some time to reflect on where we have seen the most growth and what gives us the most results. And maybe you're like, man, I'm not even there. I don't even know what my results are because I don't even know where I'm going. Well, if you don't know where you're going, it's hard to measure results. So on this Growth Mindset Monday, I want you to prioritize, your first thing you need to do is you need to prioritize scheduling in growth. Now, what are some things that will help facilitate growth? Now, partly this is your personality and your passion, but reading books on the Bay, I told you that would come in handy again. Books on the Bay. Reading books is a great way to help facilitate your growth. Now, I'll be honest, I was not a book person. I don't think I ever read a book cover to cover, even in high school. Every time I had a reading project, I figured out a way to get around that thing and not have to do it. I didn't like reading at all. It wasn't until probably about 6 or 7 years ago that I really picked up a book and read it cover to cover and was just captivated by the knowledge that was in there. See, I had this very poor misconception that books were always outdated. And by the time it was published and you actually had it in your hand or got it from the library or wherever, the information there was outdated. So why would I ever read a book? And that's not true. There is great knowledge in books. There is great wisdom in books. And so setting some time aside every single day, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes to just read a book is going to really help you grow. Read a book specifically on personal growth, leadership, even if you disagree with it. Sometimes walking through things you disagree with, you're like, man, that really doesn't make sense to me. I really don't think that applies to my life. Take some time and carve out some time to read some books. You're going to find a lot of growth in just reading books. The other thing that you can do is reflect on your day. Reflect on your day each day. Spend some time in the evening or right before you head home from work or before you go to bed, and reflect on your day. What gave me the most value today? What wasted time today? What things can I do tomorrow that's going to help maximize my time? All of those things are great tools that you can use to continue to grow in your leadership. Continue to grow in your leadership and have a growth mindset. Another one is listen to leadership podcasts. You can, again, Tea with Tim. If you're listening to Tea with Tim, fantastic. There's other great ones out there. The Look and Sound of Leadership, Coaching for Leaders. There's lots of Michael Hyatt's podcast is great. Love Michael Hyatt and his stuff. His podcast is awesome. So there's lots of great podcasts out there that you can take advantage of as well. Another way that you can grow as a leader is employ a coach. One of the things that I do with my coaching clients is we continue to work towards goals, and we continue to set up times during the week, consistent times during the week, where we're focusing on growing in our leadership. So employing a coach is a great way. Mentoring, having a mentor, someone that you're asking questions, something that you're coming to that meeting so that you can glean information from them, from their experience. And Coach Dave helped us look at the difference between coaching and mentoring last Wednesday. By the way, boss or leader, there's still some books available from Coach Dave. So if you can go back to last Wednesday's show and check that out and share it, you'll get sent a free boss or leader book. So those are some things that we can do. We can need to be asking ourselves this question: what is the most valuable thing I can do with my time? And at 9 o'clock every single morning, the most valuable thing I can do with my time is help you grow as a leader. And the most valuable thing that you can do right now is you can share this episode on your social media, and then you can get entered into a drawing that happens every single Friday for a free leadership resource, which will be a great way to read and sit down and continue to grow in your leadership. If you write a review on iTunes, you will also be entered into that drawing. So if you're listening to this on the Podbean, or if you're listening to this on iTunes, write a review and you will also be entered into that drawing as well, because I want to continue to pour into you so that you can grow as a leader. Growth Mindset Monday, lots of great guests coming up over the next few weeks. If you get a phone call or text message from me asking you to be on the show, don't be alarmed. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of different people and asking them to be part of the Tea with Tim show. Lastly, before I go, if you have a favorite tea, if you love tea as much as I do, I'm an Earl Grey English breakfast kind of tea guy, but if you have a favorite tea that you love, put it in the comments, write it in your review, shoot me an email, put it in the comments on YouTube. I would love to know what your favorite tea is. I might be trying some different teas because I want to continue to expand my tea knowledge and try a bunch of different teas. So that's all I have for today. This is a little bit longer episode, but I hope that you can set up a system to continue to grow, because having a growth mindset is the first and most important thing that you can do in growing in your leadership. All right, thanks a lot. I will see you tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.